Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today I have a tip for you that I cannot even believe I'm sharing. It's something I've done for years when smallmouth fishing, and I have caught a lot of fish doing this that have won me a lot of money. And I don't know of anyone else doing this. I'm sure there's probably people doing this. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm taking credit for this fully. But as far as I know, I don't know of anyone else doing this. And it is it's like the perfect cross between two smallmouth baits that are two absolute dynamite lures that catch more smallmouth than almost anything else. So you can blend them together and it's just absolutely killer. And again, I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I'm going to share it with you because that's what this channel's about. You know, the longer I'm in this sport, the more I feel like there's no secrets, and that even if there are secrets, it doesn't matter. Like, I can tell you exactly what I'm doing, and that doesn't mean you're going to be able to go out and do it. I can give you the tools that will help you catch more fish, but you still need to go out, find your own fish, and catch those fish. And just because, you know, I'm going to tell you guys about a bait today that I think is dynamite, there's going to be situations it's not going to work, and you're going to have to figure that stuff out. But if you know this tool or this technique, it's something you can try, and there are going to be times that you're going to really, really be able to outfish any other bait by using this. So, having said that, I do want to remind you that if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I have monthly giveaways, and if you subscribe to the channel, you are automatically entered into those giveaways as long as you're a subscriber. So if you're watching my videos on a regular basis, there's really no reason not to be a subscriber. I also want to add that if there's anything that you're looking for from a tackle perspective, that in my description, I've got a link for the realshot.com. It's a local Wisconsin tackle store that has got tons and tons of good baits and lures and reels and whatever you're looking for. But by shopping there, you'll support my channel. You'll get 10% off if you use the discount code Stefan10 in your checkout. And at the same time, you're supporting a tackle store that is just really fully behind the fishing world, and it just works out for everybody. Okay, guys, so you all know, well, I assume you all know, I talk about it a lot, how much of a fan I am of a black marabou jig. You know, this for smallmouth to me is smallmouth candy. When you're fishing specifically in the pre-spawn period, when the water's cold, this bait is dynamite. You can get, you know, there's several different brands that you can buy. I tie my own, but there's a lot of good ones. The VMC's got one, I believe. There's one, there's some local Wisconsin shops that are tying some. It really just comes down to finding, you know, a black marabou jig that has a good hook in it. But this isn't the bait I want to tell you guys about. So I just want to, the reason I need to point this out is because we're going to blend this with something else. So the key to a marabou jig when you're smallmouth fishing is to keep it off the bottom. You do not want to let it hit the bottom, but you don't want to have it high off the bottom either. You really want to keep it like at the bottom couple feet of the water column, swimming nicely along the bottom. Keep it off the bottom, keep it down by the bottom. That's the key to it. But it's not an easy thing to do, you know, especially if you're fishing some sort of break where, you know, you might be throwing up in the shallow water and the boat's sitting in much deeper water. It's really hard to keep that bait in the right level. You know, the same can be said if you're fishing a real shallow flat, 2 to 4 foot. You know, the springtime smallmouth will be up cruising on that. But if you're making long casts with your bait, it's hard to keep that marabou jig off the bottom and to keep it off the bottom, but do it at a slow speed. You know, you can reel the bait straight in and easily keep it off the bottom, but then you're working it too fast. So a few years ago, I came up with the idea to blend it with a drop shot rig, guys. This has been killer for me. So what have I done? These are some Fusion 19 drop shot hooks. I don't know if you can see that. Berkeley Fusion 19 drop shot hooks that I have just gone and tied some marabou hair onto. And by doing this, I can make really long casts, which is always one of the issues with a marabou jig. It's really hard to cast it because a lot of times you're using extremely light baits. You might be adding some plastic to it to make it, to be able to cast longer. You can throw light braid, long rods. You can make decent casts, but I'll tell you what, I can outcast you every time with a drop shot. So, not only now can I make really long casts, but I've also got a way to keep my bait off the bottom. It's just the perfect scenario. You make your long cast and you can slowly reel it back, and that bait just looks just like a black marabou jig, only it's just swimming right off the bottom in the exact perfect range that you're looking for. There's really not much more to it, guys. Get yourself some black marabou hair. You can buy it at a lot of tackle shops. You can get it off any online retailer. Just Google marabou hair. You can buy it. In a few minutes, you can easily tie yourself up a few drop shot hooks that have some marabou hair on it and take it out. Use it just like you would a standard marabou jig for smallmouth, only in this case, throw it out. I just like to straight reel it at a real slow pace so my weight stays on the bottom, my bait's gonna be up above it, and it just looks like that leech just kind of slowly going through the water. The other really nice thing about it is if you're using it in the springtime period and you do come to a bedding fish, you can let that sit and hover right above the fish in the bed and use it like you would any other bed fishing bait. If you're throwing just the standard marabou jig, if you do come to a bed, that bait swimming by, you can let it sink, but generally I have found that the smallmouth don't really like to eat it that well off the bottom. So you can let that bait sit there and you may catch one, occasionally here and there. It's way better to have that bait suspended off the bottom, which you have with the drop shot rig. So guys, this is something, again, not that I don't want to share, but it's one of the really good secret baits that I've had. It's something that has caught me a ton of fish over the years. And it's something that really nobody else is doing. I mean, like I said, there may be a few guys out there, but you know what? If they're doing it, they're keeping it quiet just like I was, because it is that good. So make yourself a few drop shot marabou hooks, take them out, go after some smallmouth. I guarantee you guys, you're gonna catch some fish. It's a really good way to fish a marabou jig. So thanks for watching. I hope this tip was helpful. If it was, share it on your social media pages, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. What can I say? It's a good one, guys. Stay tuned. More tips coming out tomorrow.